Hi everyone, my name is Kate. I'm working between the Center for Brain Research and the Dance Department to conduct the first scientific research on poi. But I'm not here just to tell you about that, although I will tell you about that. I'm here to tell you about how I got to this point and how circus and art and music somehow culminated in science, and how innovation can be found where you'd least expect it. Like this pair of socks. Because when I was growing up, I was in a circus, and it was magic. I could be anyone I wanted to be in the circus. I could even just be myself. And I could flip and fly through the air and climb and hang on things, but unlike sports, it wasn't a competition. There was no winning or losing. It was all just play and fun. And it was in the circus that someone introduced me to this pair of socks. Now, you might not recognize them, but they are actually poi. They're one type of poi amongst many because poi is actually practiced all over the world. And for me, it was love at first orbit. The second I felt those things spinning around me, I was totally hooked. I never left the house without my poi. And at some point, I didn't even have to leave the house because I opened a storefront center, which I lived in, and this was in Chicago. And I taught lessons, and people came together to share and to learn and to play. And about a year into running this center, something that was probably pretty obvious to everyone else, finally dawned on me. Poi, the thing that I was really passionate about, and academia, the thing that I was doing for a career, could potentially be one thing. And so I debuted this project, and I showed this to my colleagues in my interdisciplinary art and media program. And it was met with mixed reviews. People thought it was really neat, but they weren't sure there was a place for poi in academia. And of course, them thinking that made me want to find a place for poi in academia. And so I invented the orbitar because I'm also a musician, and something that I really love about poi is that it's rhythmic. And with Maori poi, it's even percussive, you can hear it. But I thought, what if there was a way for my poi to be even more expressive musically? And so I got accelerometers and gyroscopes, and I put them into a container, and I turned the container into a poi. And then my poi were sending data to a computer about how fast they were going and where they were in their orbit. And the orbitar was born. To me, this moment, I thought it was everything. It's sound, it's light, it's music, it's academia, it's innovation. I thought, oh, I had it all. And I did have a lot of things, but there was one thing I didn't have, which was acceptance into a PhD program. In fact, I was not rejected once or twice, but I was rejected 6 times from 6 different PhD programs to work on this poi project. And so I took a step back and I thought, okay, what is it about poi? Like, why do I even care about this thing? Why do I like it so much? And I thought about that for a few years. And I did come up with an answer, which was, yeah, I don't actually know. I know why it feels good to me, and other people know why it feels good to them, but that's not actually what I was looking for. I wanted something more objective, like why does it feel good to spin this thing around on a cord? And I realized there was no research. And knowing that, of course, made me want to go get the research. So I came here to the University of Auckland, and I've spent the last year and a half conducting a large randomized controlled trial with healthy adults over 60. And I'm measuring the effects of poi on their physical and cognitive function. So before they learned poi, they had to do a whole bunch of tests, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. I only have one nice shirt, which I happen to be wearing in that video, and also right now. Okay, so after they went through all those tests, that took them a little over an hour. Then they got to do the fun part. They got to play. So they were randomly allocated to either a group doing poi or a group doing Tai Chi, which was my control group. And they did lessons for an entire month, and I'm going to let them show you what that was like.
I was expecting a challenge, for sure, but it was harder than I thought it would be. Definitely harder. Certainly controlling the non-dominant hand.
I was quite amazed at the beginning, my uncoordinated movements. I was quite surprised, actually.
My lack of coordination was a real problem, and I didn't even know I had a lack of coordination. I thought if you could ride a bike, you were coordinated. You know, I haven't ridden a bike for about 40 years, so I guess that's not taken into account.
I've enjoyed the experience of being involved. When I carry out my daily activities or my sporting activities, I find that my concentration and my focus and coordination have all appeared to improve, certainly with my bowling.
I feel pleased that I took the challenge on. I feel pleased that I've succeeded to a degree. And yes, I would definitely like to continue with it. It would be awesome to do it with others together on the beat. It must just be a wonderful feeling when it all comes perfectly. Yes.
So after they practiced poi or Tai Chi for a month, I asked them if they felt like there was anything positive or negative that they felt from their practice. So I'll just share with you a few responses from the poi participants. They said whatever they wanted, and I put them into physical, cognitive, and emotional. So for physical, the thing that was most talked about was the flexibility and a looseness in the body, and also people mentioned their non-dominant hand, like sucking a lot and also gaining some coordination there. Cognitive, people really love the challenge of learning a new skill, and they improved their focus and concentration. And emotional, people had fun. That was the thing that was most said, that they were enjoying themselves. So, what about those tests that you saw people speeding through? What is the results from that? What does the data say? Unfortunately, I cannot tell you yet. My study doesn't end for another week, so it's exciting times. I have the results, but I can't share until the study finishes. At the end of this, I'll tell you where you can find me online, and you can go look at a month. But what I can tell you now is this. Following your passion is not easy. I just told you a bunch of really positive things about my poi research, but the fact is it's been a struggle, just like all of my endeavors with poi and academia. There's been a lot of questions about me as a Pākehā studying poi. I haven't been able to find any funding for my research. I did this through crowdfunding and just going into massive debt. But here's the thing. If you know what your passion is, or you want to go on a journey to find out, you just have to do it. Like, it might be hard and people might not believe in you and you might not know how things fit together. I never could have imagined how my circus stuff would inform art or music or how any of that would inform science. But following my passion has made me who I am today, and it absolutely informs everything I do in my research. It allows me to think outside the box, and sometimes finding the connections between seemingly disparate things is how really great breakthroughs are made. And just remember that innovation can be found anywhere. As Tom Robbins says, if you take any activity, any art, any discipline, any skill, and you push it as far as it will go, push it beyond where it's ever been before, push it to the wildest edge of edges, then you force it into the realm of magic. When I was growing up and I was in the circus, it was pure magic. And to be honest with you, I've never grown up. I'm still chasing my passions, following my dreams, pushing poi as far as it will go, and trying to find the magic in everything I do. I might not know how I'm going to pay my rent this month, but I'm following my heart. And as cheesy as it sounds, it's totally worth it. So if there's anything you've ever wanted to try or wanted to do, the time is now. You just have to do it. It might not turn out how you expect. Sometimes that's even better. And at the very least, I promise you, you'll be happy that you tried. If you want to find out more about my research, you can find me in social media land. I'm at SpinPoi, my website, spinpoi.com, or come find me in real life because I'll be doing poi lessons during the lunch hour workshops just upstairs. Thank you.